Hello everyone, this is Persephone, and following the David Goggins philosophy, I'm forcing myself to make more videos. This video aims to help both beta men and other types of men who are watching me, and also women who are new in the digital adult industry. And the first truth we're going to share is that camming is paid sexual harassment, and the same thing applies for Twitch and OnlyFans. So I'm going to share some things here that are highly inflammatory. I really don't want to upset anyone, but I don't know how to tell you the truth without saying things that will upset you. So I'm going to use Amaranth as an example. She's a very popular Twitch streamer. She's very pretty. I believe she deserves it. She's good at what she does. And when men found out that Amaranth has a husband, all hell broke loose. So for me, when I'm someone's fan, I like K-pop, let's use K-pop as an example. If I found out that an artist that I like has a boyfriend or a girlfriend or is secretly married, I'm happy for them because I don't want them to be alone like dystopian slaves and suffer. And also because I don't believe I would ever meet them or date them in real life, so why would they be single? But that's not the case, and Amaranth proves that when it comes to men. So there were several people who threw tantrums and they said, I'm never going to donate again, I'm never going to support you again, you are this, you are that, insulting her. Why are you insulting her? Why were you on her Twitch stream trying to chat her up and trying to give her money, thinking that you're eventually going to date her or have sex with her? Where does this idea come from? To try to be fair, society is actually making men delusional and cushioning them from any kind of truth. So if you go to any kind of adult site, you're going to see these pop-ups that you click and it says, find your dream girl, meet single moms in your area, meet lonely women over 60, meet werewolves who are doing surgery in the hospital, and so on. And if you click on these pop-ups, because I did to see what's going to happen, they always take you to a campsite. But here's the problem. Campsites are not dating sites. The women there are not allowed to meet men, they're not allowed to date men, and if they find you doing that, they're going to delete your account and ban you and fire you permanently. You won't be able to make another account. And when I was on Chaturbate, the amount of men that thought that I'm an exhibitionist and I do this for fun and they don't have to tip me anything was insane. That is a combination of things. Thing number one is that they cannot put themselves into the other person's shoes and see anyone else's perspective like they're immature, or they just project what they do to me, that they are exhibitionists, so I must be the same. That eventually takes a huge toll on you if you are in the industry, because you have to assert your boundaries all the time and you have to remind to these people like they're toddlers or patients with dementia that you're not going to date them. Or you have to play very dangerous games and pretend to date them. But the reason why I'm sharing this is because I'm extremely angry at the women who just lie to your face and they say, oh, I love all of my fans, I love coming, it's my favorite thing, I can't wait to do it, I want to do it all the time. And recently I went to Hidori Rose's Chaturbate profile. I mean, I really like Hidori, I consider her a great cosplayer, so I was curious to see, does she do any coming? Do you know when Hidori's last live was? 7 years ago. She loves coming so much that she hasn't done it once in 7 years. And I don't know if Hidori herself has ever said that she loves coming, I don't know her, but I'm just saying this is an extreme example of, I know so many people that they say, I love coming, and then they never do a live stream, not even 1 hour. Why is that? Because it's paid sexual harassment, and being sexually harassed isn't pleasant. That's it. It feels so cathartic to say that. Of course, I'm not the global voice, the self-appointed representative of everyone in the industry. This is just my opinion. There are going to be people who say I love coming and really mean it. You do you. I'm just saying that because I want to warn the newbies in the industry that essentially you are getting paid to chat with people and interact with people that you wouldn't even do on gunpoint under normal circumstances. And to the men, that you're being scammed into thinking you're going to meet your dream girl when 99% of these women have boyfriends or husbands or families and they want nothing to do with you. Now I'm going to add 2 more things that make the whole thing insufferable in my opinion. And one thing is that the elephant in the room has to do with looks. When I was first discharged from the hospital last April, where I almost died because of several autoimmune complications and the Clostridium infection, I have videos about that. Maybe I'm going to make more, I don't know. The thing is, I had lost around 20 pounds. So I'm going to use European metric system. I was 52 kilograms at 162 centimeters, which is like 5'2", approximately 5'1". And then I became 42, which is like under 90 pounds. And I looked like either a skeleton, anorexic skeleton, or a drug addict. I looked horrible. And the hospital, they're like, you're such a drug addict. You definitely have eating disorders. Like, so much shaming. So anyway, I looked so bad, and I was extremely self-conscious for the next month and a half until I started to like seriously have a problem with not enough money coming in. I was doing only phone calls and editing content I already had. I don't want to show my body on camera because it looked bad. It didn't look appealing. Unless you are into, like I said, skeletal people. I'm not saying this to body shame anyone. This is just how I felt. But all of these men who are on the campsites, they don't seem to think about that at all, that women are also visual. That I get this question like, what are you into all the time? Or how can I make you have an orgasm all the time? You can't, because you don't look good. I know this sounds horrible for the men. I'm just telling you, the first thing to start fixing that is fixing your body, losing your weight. Personally, I'm not attractive to morbidly obese or men who don't work out at all. Then there are several types of preferences, but the problem is that if 0 women are interested in you in real life, the chances of making a woman aroused on a campsite are close to 0. So this is also a form of sexual harassment, in my opinion, because it also doesn't have something else that is common sense. If you see an average of 20 clients a day, 10 privates a day, you're not going to have an orgasm 10 times in a day if you're a woman. I mean, I don't know any woman who does that. Maybe someone is. Personally, I can't. So, do these people even realize that you're not their girlfriend and you can have 20 orgasms a day, and some of them, if all of them, are going to be fake? Then there is a thing with the Laveness toys. For me, these toys do absolutely nothing, and I don't want to have them inside me. I like sex toys, but not this specific brand. But here's the thing, this specific brand has almost a monopoly in all of these sites. So a lot of these men don't seem to realize that not every toy fits every woman. There was a thread on Reddit that I wanted to save, I can find it again, where over 50 cam girls admitted that they fake the Laveness toy because it doesn't do anything for them. And they do it to get tips. I understand that it's kind of sexy to control someone else's toy from a distance, but it has to be a person that sees you and they're sexually attracted to you. A person that didn't see 20 other men before you, and the person that the toy they use is the toy they actually like. Another thing is oh my God, I'm going to do whatever you want me to do. Like, we're on night flirt for a change, and I get the call and the person is like, I'm going to do whatever you want me to do, whatever pleases you. I had a private show today with someone that I made $80 out of that show, and I'm going to block the guy. I can't stand him. He drives me nuts. Because I even tried to explain to him, I'm honest with these people, like, I'm the type of person that I'm never going to say anything online or to say anything to your face that I wouldn't want someone to reproduce it and try like to show it to me and blackmail me, and the blackmail would fail. So I told this guy, I'm into men, not dolls. Oh, I'm going to make a comment on the sex dolls because someone asked me, but I don't want you to just be laying there obeying my instructions. That's not challenging to me. I'm into interactive stuff. So I ask you what you're into, you ask me what I'm into, we find a common ground. No. I want to do whatever you are into, mistress. And whatever I'm into, he doesn't want any of that ever. This is a very specific category of client. I can tell him 20 things that I'm into and 10 things that I can do but I'm neutral towards, and he doesn't want any of that. But he wants to do whatever I'm into. The other kind is the extreme emotional labor guy. Like, I have to think of a fantasy. I have to think of a role play. I have to think of a sex toy. I have to think of what he has to do. Like, dude, how is that sexy? Because this is femdom. This is not femdom. This is you being a lazy ass. That is the opposite of sexy. A person with no opinion. I don't want a zombie army. Anyway, I started to even be emotional because I'm telling you, for this $80, after, I didn't want to stop the session after it started because I thought he understood, but he didn't understand. He needed to be told to do everything. Now use your toy. Now sit with your back on the wall. Now do this. Now do that. I was very tempted to just take the money and leave him with blue balls, but then I was like, okay, be professional. David Goggins, what he said, embrace the suck. I'm embracing so much suck these days, you have no idea. Then the fantasy that really gets me into these sessions is one of my other 20 side gigs is going to take off and then I'll never see you again. That's my fantasy. That gets me off. You're that repulsive. Okay, I stop. So I don't care what you are into. I want you to have an opinion. The mentality of, oh, be stressed, whatever you want, I'm going to do it, it's abolished. That's not femdom. That's you being a coward, you being antisexual, and you being someone who has something very specific in his mind, he doesn't say it, and it's usually something so rare, like the penguin thing that I say, that, oh, I want to do whatever you are into, but you have to be into wearing a penguin costume and scaring people at night. And you have to somehow be a mind reader and realize that, otherwise I'm blocking you. No. Welcome to the real world. No one cares about that. You'll die alone. Oh, back to the sex dolls. Someone asked me, what do I think about sex dolls, that they're just sex dolls and not AI. I actually have had some very interesting conversations and information that I got from the sex doll forum on Reddit, where several of the men who have the dolls said that they really help them with hugging someone, having intimacy, having a girlfriend as they like. And then I did some more research and they said that people who own sex dolls don't have any weird traits really, compared to people who don't. So I was also looking to get a sex doll because I'm never filming content with men again. Because I'm mainly into Asian men, and every time I try to film content, it's like the ultimate shit show. Everyone hates you and you don't make any money if your partner is Asian. Because the white men are going to hate you and say, you raise straight or whore, you rice burner, die, death threats, and so on. The black men will hate you too, because the popular thing is a white girl with a black guy, and how dare you not do that. And I had several very snarky comments from black men. I don't know why I didn't expect that. And also the Asian guys are also going to hate you, and they're going to start saying horrible racist shit, and they're going to start saying, oh, so the guy is Korean, you don't want us jungle Asians then, you K-pop whore. Or they're going to say, this guy doesn't have any money, that's why you have to do porn, so you have to date me instead. So anyway, I'm never filming with men again. I don't want them on my show, and I don't want people to get depression saying this guy is better looking than me. So I was also considering to get a sex doll. So if you're watching me and you're the guy who asked and you want to get a sex doll, by all means, go for it. The problem that I have to solve, that I haven't solved yet, is that I haven't found any attractive Asian male sex dolls. I found a Chris Wu sex doll. I don't know if I pronounced his name right, like the K-pop idol that he was convicted for being a serial rapist. There is an identical sex doll in one of the websites for like $3,000, and obviously I don't want to get that because, first of all, copyright, and second, like, ew, you're sexually attacking women. And he was also, the women were calling him pencil dick, and some of the victims said they felt sorry for him. Anyway, I shouldn't be talking about this. It's going to demonetize the video. It was a huge dumpster fire. I don't want him as a sex doll. So all of the other ones were atrocious, or they were like some kind of Asian guys that they were looking, how to say this, awfully young. I'm not into that either. I'm into grown men. So I contacted some of the sites and they told me that what I want is very niche, because apparently no one wants Asian men still, and the K-pop industry hasn't done enough to promote K-pop sex dolls. So if I want one, I have to customize that. So that's like, hello, $7,000. So I'm kind of like thinking about it, because there is an installment choice. You can pay like $500 a month and get it. So I'm thinking about it, but I'm just telling you that if there was one at a normal price, my normal price is like $2,000-$3,000, I would get it in a heartbeat. Go do what you have to do to be happy. Don't be like the guys who are trying to buy women of campsites, or like the guys who are erotomaniacs. I'm going to have to make a video about that they think that you are in a relationship because they pay you. And this video is at 14 minutes. So I can share with you an extremely creepy thing that happened to me, that it was one of the reasons where I was considering leaving the industry and disappearing completely. And I'm the person that I'm creepy myself. So if I call someone creepy, that's very creepy. So there was this guy that he was one of my regulars on one of the sites, and when someone supports you for like years and years and they give you money, I'm grateful. Like, I know that I talk a lot of shit on this channel, but I'm still grateful to the people who fed me, clothed me for years, kept me away from abuse. I can't just say, hey, you're just trash. No. So after you are with someone back and forth on over 9 months, you start asking them more personal things too, or if they bring it up, I may ask them. So he started telling me that he has a long distance girlfriend and he's very happy, and he told his family, and he showed pictures of his girlfriend to his mom, and they're going to get married. And I was honestly very happy for him, because I was like, wow, so he found someone. And for me, in that case, I make enough money to not try to sabotage someone and ruin their life. Like, if you found someone, good for you. And then the conversation starts to progress and takes a very creepy turn. Like, this is one of the things that I'm waiting for someone to find my channel and then make a creepiest channel on YouTube documentary so I can go viral. I don't care if you call me creepy, I want to go viral. So he started saying, after he mentioned the girlfriend that I didn't ask more about, yeah, so I was going to go out with my friends at the bar because there was a soccer game and they wanted to watch it at the bar and drink beer and talk. And I said, I can't go because I have to be with my long distance girlfriend. And I was like, when did this happen? It's like last Wednesday. And we had the session last Wednesday. So yeah, my long distance girlfriend, you. I'm like, wait, what? So long story short, the long distance girlfriend he told his family about, and the long distance girlfriend he showed her photos to, was me. I'm not this man's girlfriend. I never had an interaction with him where he didn't pay me, and sometimes more money than what I would normally charge. But in his mind, we have been together long enough for me to be his long distance girlfriend. In that case, before I call Interpol or the FBI to leave a tip, I try to land the spaceship to reality gently. So I start telling him, you know that campsites are not dating sites, right? You know that you should be spending time with your friends, and if they want to introduce you to an actual 3D girl, get an introduction, and try to go out with him, right? And he's like, no, I've made up my mind. You're the person that I want in my life. I had to contact the site, take screenshots, send a mail where, like a broken record, I repeat to the person that I'm not his girlfriend, this is a paid site, I cannot meet him, thank you very much for your patronage, and bye. And before you say, Persephone, how much of hot shit do you think you are? Everyone is in love with you? No. This is just desperation. I don't have to look like a Victoria's Secret model. These guys are doing the round saying, I love you to many women on the side, 50 women at the same time sometimes. There are people who get off on these imaginary relationships, and that's part of the game. The problem starts when they start believing their own bullshit. And I'm going to tell you, no one is immune to that. I don't think I'm immune to that too. That's one of the reasons why I could never be an actual actress. Because I think if I was, let's say, filming a Korean drama that I learned Korean fluently, that I went to Korea, and because I'm white and I exist, I can land acting roles because white privilege, and I have to star with this extremely attractive 6'2" Korean model who now he's an actor, and he falls in love with me. I would end up believing my own bullshit too, I wouldn't trust myself. But involving your mom, showing her my photos, I'm telling you that I kind of feel uncomfortable, that I always look with my peripheral vision to see which one of these guys that they're convinced we're getting married is going to show up one day. And I don't want any of them to show up. And when you are in this industry long enough, you realize that no matter how much you protest, and no matter how much you remind them of the fact that this is all paid and this is all a fantasy, delusional people will have delusions. So after some point you say, enough is enough, I can't do this anymore. That's why I always say to people, you do this job if you are only strapped for cash. Unless you want Braden and his mom from Zerwater Heights showing up to kidnap you one day because you promised to marry him and you never did. This is a reality that no one dares to talk about. It feels extremely cathartic to talk about it, so I'm going to continue to do so, but it's very dangerous. It's one of the most dangerous jobs on the planet, and you're going to die for stupid reasons. That is the worst thing out of all. So, to summarize this video, did we get anything, or did I just complain about my problems on the internet again, screaming into the void? No. What you have to remember is that campsites are not dating sites. If you feel that you're taking things too seriously, you step out and you focus on your real life. You can use them in times where you feel lonely or when you need cash, and once the internet is off, your real life starts. And women are as visual as men. If no woman wants you in real life, I'm not aroused by you in the online life either. Don't ask women and don't say to women, what do you want, or I'm going to do whatever you want. A good example to remember to close this video is, let's say we go to the supermarket together and you walk up to the cashier and the cashier says, what do you want? How can I help you? And you say to him, what do you want? What would you buy for your house today? How fast do you think they would be pressing the button for security to come kick your ass out? It's the same thing. You're the client there. The model or the performer or the phone sex operator is not your girlfriend. What she wants doesn't matter. If you really want to know what she wants your money to go spend them with real men who are tall, handsome, she's in love with them, or with girlfriends, or with her kids, or whoever. No one wants you to play the lover from Jerkwater Heights who can make women explode online. If you made the Tinder and you swiped on 5,000 women and you didn't have anyone swiping back, don't ask women what they want. Go get what you want, let them get the money, and move on with your day. There is nothing wrong with that. Harassing people, this is what's wrong with that. And always assume that the person you talk to has someone, or has someone in mind at least. Don't even assume the sexual orientation. I know girls who are lesbians and they do that and they hate it. So don't be a difficult client. Don't be a difficult human. Develop the art of conversation. And eventually the goal is for you to graduate from all of that bullshit. That goes for both the men and the women who watch me. For the men, the goal is to ascend as a beta man and get what you want. If that's BBC, you get it. If that's feminization, you get it. If that's becoming a beta provider, you get it, and so on. And for the women, you save a ton of money from that, and eventually you start an actual business. Because I don't consider this a business. I'm going to make a video called Sex Work Isn't Real Work. Here is why, and what is real work. That is going to make me cancelled probably, but that is the truth. The only part of the industry that I accept as a business is selling videos or selling items, because there is a tangible product, people buy it, you film it, you can actually have like Excel sheets, seeing your sales, seeing your progress, and so on. Babysitting the men who go around saying, I love you, let me fly you in to move in with me, that's not the business, that's a bullshit. We're essentially enabling delusions. No one can change my mind. The people who say sex work is real work. Okay, one last thing, because I'm on really petty mode today, because that loser really pissed me off. If you're a man or a woman, look up the OnlyFans chatters subreddit. Do you know what that is? I even didn't know that until quite some time ago. OnlyFans chatters is the subreddit where people mainly from the Philippines, and I don't say this to offend anyone, I say this because they have low rates, so they're very popular, which is also exploitation, by the way, go get hired by a popular OnlyFans account and they sext you pretending to be the girl. So there is a pretty high chance that if you were sexting with a very popular performer, it was some dude from the Philippines who is using a script taking your money. I'm sad to say that I never reached to that level of success that I could hire a chatter, but if I could, I would have done so in a heartbeat. I would write 10 to 20 different scripts for him or for her, and they would role play me, and I would pay them handsomely, because I consider sexting to people you are not attracted to a form of abuse. So everyone in this industry except me says, I love coming. That's why you haven't done it in 7 years. I love sexting. That's why you paid the guy from the Philippines to cosplay as you. I love my subs. That's why every other week I get a new sub whose mistress retired on a farm, or she went to become a monk on Fuji Mountain, or she married and all of a sudden she's vanilla and she wants to sleep with only her husband. The amount of bullshit I hear in this industry is, honestly, I could write a book and it would be in the science fiction level. If you are really into fandom and if you really love this lifestyle, you don't retire to a farm one day. Thank you for watching.